Chinese technology conglomerate Tencent has bought a stake worth $264 million United States dollars, about 2,060 crore rupees, in Flipkart from its co-founder, Vinny Bansal, through its European subsidiary. Bansal holds around 1.84% stake in Flipkart after selling part of his stake to Tencent Cloud Europe. India's power demand this year has jumped by a record 40,000 to 45,000 megawatts per day as an intense heat wave sweeps through northern parts of the country, the economy expands, and electricity reaches millions of unelectrified homes, Power Minister R.K. Singh has said. A massive addition in the generation capacity, integration of the country into one transmission grid, and strengthening of the distribution system during 8 years of the Modi government is ensuring the 23 to 23.5 hours of electricity supply, he said in an interview with PTI. According to a survey by an NGO, the average availability of power in rural areas was about 12.5 hours at the national level. Today it is 22.5 hours, he said. Vedanta plans to modify the design of one of its waste heat recovery power plants in Goa and re-optimize its turbines through the use of specialized technology in order to increase power generation by another 5 megawatts, a top official of the company said. This is in line with Vedanta's efforts toward reducing its carbon footprint. Maruti Suzuki India records the highest ever dispatch in a financial year so far as the auto major ships 2.33 lakh units of vehicles through Indian Railways last fiscal, a senior company official said. The company's dispatch in 21-22 was 23% up from 1.89 lakh units it transported using railways in the 2021 financial year. Cumulatively, the auto major has transported close to 11 lakh vehicles through Indian Railways in the last 8 years, helping avoid over 4,800 metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. The move has helped save over 156,000 truck trips and over 174 million liters of fuel. India's COVID-19 tally crosses the 8K mark for the second day with 8,582 fresh infections and 4 deaths, according to data released by the Union Health Ministry at 8 am Sunday. As many as 4,435 patients recovered from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, leaving 44,513 active infections across the country. Nepal has started exporting the total approved 364 megawatts of electricity to India through its power exchange market. Nepal is exporting surplus electricity to India through its power exchange market for the second consecutive year. According to the Nepal Electricity Authority, the state-owned body is now selling 37.7 megawatts from Trishuli and Devighat hydropower projects, 140 megawatts from Kaligandaki hydropower project, 68 megawatts from Middle Masingdi, 67 megawatts from Masingdi. The Nepal Electricity Authority started selling electricity generated by Trishuli and Devighat on June 2. The Indian government has decided to extend a line of credit of $55 million to Sri Lanka for the procurement of urea fertilizer. This credit line was extended in response to an urgent request from the government of Sri Lanka amid the ongoing economic crisis. In this context, a line of credit agreement was signed between Government of Sri Lanka and the Export-Import Bank of India on June 10, 2022 at Colombo, in the presence of the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka Ranil Wickremesinghe, the Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amarabira, and the High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle. Senior officials from the Sri Lanka and Indian side were also present during the signing ceremony. AIPL Group, a leading real estate development entity, is all set to invest 500 crore rupees in Punjab over the next 3 years as a part of its expansion plan in the residential and retail sectors. The investment will be a befitting testimonial of the post-pandemic green shoots in realty sector for the region and will spur the growth of the real estate industry in Punjab and help AIPL to further consolidate itself as a key realty player in the state. Private sector lender RBL Bank on Saturday announced the appointment of R. Subramanya Kumar as its new Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. RBL Bank said that a meeting of its board of directors will be convened in due course upon the completion of requisite formalities. Subramanya Kumar will also be appointed as an additional director on the board after receiving shareholder approval. The Tamil Nadu Generation and Distribution Company is in the process of producing 20,000 megawatts of solar power in the state in 10 years to reduce the dependence on coal-based power plants. The power utility has already commissioned AECOM India, a private technical consultancy firm, to produce a project report within 4 months. A senior official said that initially power plants with 4,000 megawatts capacity with storage facilities will be installed. The department is however planning for a drastic shift into solar as calls against pollution of the environment are on the rise. The number of income tax returns has increased in FY 22 over the previous fiscal, Central Board of Direct Taxes Chairman Sangeeta Singh said on Saturday. Talking to PTI, Chairman said the number of income tax returns last fiscal was 7.14 crore against 6.9 crore in the preceding financial year, showing a clear growth. India's leading fashion and beauty destination, Myntra gears up for the 16th edition of its flagship end-of-season sale that's scheduled between the 11th to the 16th of June 2022 by creating about approximately 27,500 third-party employment opportunities through its partners providing customers with a wholesome experience. These employment opportunities are being created through its logistics, customer support, and delivery partners.